guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So I am going to be making a tool journal. Now if you saw my video before, which is only a few days ago, I did a back in my craft room because I'm coming back off having a lovely long holiday, and I thought I would make a tool journal. So I sort of like showed you a little bit of what I was going to do, and I've got my tool journal pages. You get 22 in the pack of lovely just paper pack, and they're just fabulous. I have printed on the other side of these, so I thought I would make a lovely journal. Now I'm doing it a little bit different. I've not done anything like this before. All as I'm doing, I'm taking 7 of my pages like that, 7 of these, and what I've done, I folded them in half. I printed on the back, I folded them in half. I folded one the right way, one so you've got the inside showing, and alternately like that. So that's the back alternate like that. Now I have decorated 2 of them because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, so I thought I'd have a little practice. And what I'm going to do, instead of having your pages where I'm stacking them inside each other like that, so you've just got a sort of like one signature, I'm actually going to do 7 single signatures, so it's just one piece of paper. Now if this works, I will do it again and I will add a few more bits of paper to them, but because it's just one, I'm just doing one because I'm just working it out in my head. And I have sewn, I've just done a pamphlet stitch, and I've done it with 7 holes. Now I've never done 7-hole pamphlet stitch before, so this is a bit of a challenge as well. I've already sewn 5 of them. I'm going to show you how I sew them now, but I'm going to stack them like this, okay, and then join these bits together, so we've got like an open spine. And then this is the cover. This is a cover. I've just covered a bit of, I'll do that in a minute. I need to do the back one, like that. So we're going to have a hardish cover on the front and sort of like one on the back, so it sort of like opens up. So when you open it up, you've got sort of like the pages, one opens up which is all nicely decorated, and then you've got a plain one and a decorated one, then you've got 2 plain, so it opens up like that. Okay, so let's see. I hope it's not too confusing. I'm trying to work it out, but I thought I'd sort of like bring you along and sort of like work it out with me. Right, I'm going to just do the back cover before I start showing you how I've sewn it. And all as I'm doing, I've taken a piece of Amazon packaging, of course, and I've taken one of the papers that are folded in half and just made it just slightly bigger, just so it sort of covers it a little bit. I didn't want it too big, and all as I'm doing, I went in, I've got some of my paper which I just, this is recycled paper that I coffee stained in the garden. Doesn't quite fit to fold it with, just a tiny bit, but I wanted the ends covered up. So what I'm going to do, I'm doing this very basically, and I'm just going to do this and glue it on. They're going to be covered up anyway, like so. So I'm just covering it up. So cover your back papers however you feel like you should. I'm just going to tear that little bit off because it's just that little bit too long. I was just sort of faffing around a little bit with this one. And I just sort of like a little basic cover, super simple, like that. A little bit of glue, turn that over, stick that on. So guys, I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Can you believe it is? It's like September. It's September already, which is absolutely crazy. I could have probably put that down a bit lower, but I was a bit silly, wasn't it? But yes, can you believe it's like September already? But there we go. Summer's nearly over. But can you, as well, they've got like Christmas stuff in the shop. I just think that's absolutely crazy. We haven't even gone through autumn. So we haven't even finished summer. But there we go, there's me moan. There's me moan for the day. I'm just enjoying some sunshine. The last of the sunshine. Well, I'm hoping that we're going to get sort of a bit of a longer summer here, which is quite nice. I'm off to the UK next week to see Andy's mum, his family, which will be really nice. So I'm going to try and get a few videos done. Whether I can, I don't know. We shall see. But then when we come back, we will be straight on it. Oh, I've got a couple, actually. I'm going to show you before I forget, because this is, I'm going to use them to decorate my journal with. I've got a couple of new kits here. Now, these are Encyclopedia Ephemera, because I want to try and get back to doing a bit more ephemera type of stuff that I can use in my eclectic journals. Now, this is Vintage Encyclopedia Flowers, Volume 1. And these are just beautiful. They're just really perfect just to pop into your stash pile. And you know, when you've got a little bit of something, I'm going to cut all these out, put them in my boxes like I showed you the other day I was doing, just so I've got everything ready. But these are just beautiful. I just love flowers. I'm also in the middle of making a really funky flower one, just paper pack. Oh, beautiful. I'm loving it as well. So you get them in bigger and you get them in smaller. So these are just lovely, really, really nice. So that's your flower one. These are in the shop now. And this one is Sea Life. Now this is, there was so much that we wanted to put into the Sea Life that we've actually got 2 kits. But this is the first one. Look at these beautiful sharks. So I know how much you guys love Sea Life. But these are lovely. You've got beautiful seahorses and turtles and dolphins. Oh, I love this. It's just beautiful and so lovely to pop in your stash when we want something to pop into our journals. Look at them, they're beautiful. So we've got them in bigger and we've got them in smaller as well. Look at the lovely sea otters. Oh, if I can just turn those over and look at these. We've got the clownfish, we've got the manta ray in there. We've got your lovely seahorse and your walrus. And then we've got them in the small, so they're, you know, we've sort of like made them, scaled them down a little bit. But I just think they're fabulous. I'm so excited about these because I've been wanting things like this. A good old stash collection. So they're in the shop. So do pop along there and have a little peek. Let's just pop this one on like this. Glue this on. Let's just fold this over like that. Glue it down. Let's glue this side on here. So yeah, good old bit of Amazon packaging, which I haven't used for a little while. Oops, have I done that too low? I don't think so. So yeah, I want to get back into making. I was quite excited to get back into my craft room. I've got so many things that I need to do though. Lots and lots of ideas. Whether they, I remember, I should really write them down. But when I write things down, it never sort of like comes to how I want it to be anyway. When I have an idea, I like to sort of like work on it sort of there and then. I don't know whether you're like me, because as I sort of forget and move on to something else. This is very, very scruffily glued down. But I'm going to sew around the outside as well, so it doesn't really matter. I think I want this side in there first, so I've got the line down there. Like this. This is very smelly glue. This one's out of Tiger, but it's very, very smelly. It's not a very pleasant smell either. Stick that down, pop that down. Oh, I still did that wrong again, didn't I? Oh, never mind. That doesn't matter. That should have been down first, but do you know what I mean? So that, and then I'm just going to pop over the top anyway, so you're not going to be able to see it. So this is, I'll put that on the inside. Pop that on there. I'm going to, right, I'm going to get myself all muddled up in a minute. Let's take this one and this one and this one. Right, I'm going to cut this one in half. This one I cut in half, and that was the front. So those two were going together. So I've just cut that in half. I want to put this one on. I'm going to just cut this down like this. Just a itty bitty bit off that middle bit. Just so they, there we go. So this is going to go, what was on the other side? I think this is going to go on the back of that. So that's the front. So that's your front, but I can't put that on until I've finished doing the journal bit. This is going to go on there like that. So that's the inside of the back, and that's the outside of the back. So this one and this one we need to save to the side. I'm going to ink this up, talk my way through this so I know what I'm actually doing. Just ink around the edge. Now I'm not 100% sure whether this is going to work, but we will give it a go and we will know, won't we? I think it's a little bit fiddly what I want to do. But I think the outcome will be quite nice. Let's see. Let's just ink around the edge. There we go. I do fancy doing a little bit more mixed media as well, because I was sorting out my little cupboardy bit there, and I had the gesso and stuff in there, and I was like, ooh, I haven't done any sort of like gesso paper and stuff for ages. And I really sort of like got the urge to sort of like get my gesso out, but I wanted to get this done. So maybe I'll start doing a little bit more mixed media on a Sunday again. Now sort of like, you know, the summer's over and stuff. I should really start doing a little bit more because I do enjoy it. Okay, that's that inkied up. Put that to the side. Now what I am going to do, not that it really matters which way round these go, but I'm going to stick that on, go to my sewing machine and sew around that. So that's going to be your back piece, I think. Or is that going to be the inside piece? No, that can be the back. That doesn't matter, it can be the back. So let's just glue this down. So yeah, I haven't done a tool journal for ages, and I've never done one like this, because you don't see tool journals with sort of like signatures. They all tend to be popped in together, don't they, in one sort of signature. So let's see, let's try and get this straight. There we go. So that's going to be the back cover, like that. So that will be the back. Yes, because then that will be on the inside, and that's on the inside. That's what I wanted. So, okay. Well, I'm going to pop to my sewing machine, which is just beside me, and I'm just going to quickly sew around the outside. So 2 seconds. Okay, so there we go. That was nice and quick. Let's just chop these little bits off. There we go. I really have sort of, now I'm back in my craft room, it feels like I've really missed it, doing a little bit of sewing and stuff like that. It's quite nice to get back. Right, so that is your back cover. So now I have the front and back cover, so they're quite hard and nice, so they can go to the side. Now these pieces, so like I said, I've got 7 pieces, and I'm just sewing in, just for sort of like almost decorative purposes, I'm doing the 7. On there, and I want them all to have that on the back, on the spine. So I'm going to do these last 2. I've got some wax thread. I'm not taking it off the spool. I'm going to sew it with the spool. Now, let me just do this a minute if I can get that in. I'm going to just show you how I managed to get the 7 holes in there. What I did, let me find my piece of paper. I got a piece of copy paper and folded it in half and measured it so it's the same length as your tool journal. Okay, so make sure it's the same length, doesn't matter about the width. And what I did, I folded that in half and I made a little fold there, opened it up. I'm going to just draw on that. So that's going to be your middle. And then from there, fold the outside into the middle, like that. So then that's going to be your next point there. Fold it there, okay. And then what I did that one again in half. So you go then to your next one like that, okay, like that. And then I did between this one and this one, I bent that in half like that, okay. So then we've got this one, and then I did exactly the same on the other side. Let's go this way. I bent that in half, so we've got there like that. Put this one in half there, between that one and that one, like that. And then this one between this one and this one, and I just folded that in half like that, so it's there. So all of these are equal, and you've got like 7 little holes. And then what I did, I opened that up, popped that inside. If you marked it, you want to do it this way, like that. Open that, pop that inside your signature, and then get something. I had my book, and then I just got my needle like that and poked little holes in there. So all of these are the same. So that's how I got all of my little signatures and all the little holes in there. Now, sewing them in, let me put my glue lid on a minute. I'm not going to take it off the spool because I don't know how much really thread I'm going to use. Now, what I did, I've taken it, I've gone straight through the middle hole like that. Okay, and then pulled it out, and then I've gone through the next hole there, turn that over. I'm going to do this on the other one as well, so I'll show you. Go down through the next hole like that, and then back down through the last one at the end. Doesn't matter which end you go through. Okay, now I just need to get a little bit more of the thread. How I sort of measure it as well, it's just like I need to go that way, and then it just needs to come back again. So that's roughly about the right thread. And then once you've done that, so you've got one here, we need to go back through this hole here. It's probably not the easiest to see on, you know, the thread. It's quite clear. And then you want to go back through the next hole like that. So then these two have got threads in them, but then you want to jump, don't go through the middle hole, go over the middle and to the next one. Okay, so go down through that next one like that, turn it over, oops, we don't want you, back through the next one, and then make your way back up. If I can get through, there we go, through the next one like that, and then we want to go back up through, then back down again through each hole. So go through that one, through. I'm going to cut this off now because I don't need any more. That's about right. back down through the next hole like that. So they've all got them through, and then we want to go back through the middle like that. And then that brings you up through the middle like that. And we'll go under the other side, and you just sew it, just tie it together like you would a signature like that. Oops, one's one side. And I'm just going to pull this one and this one. Make sure they're tight, and you can see you've got it through like that. I'll do it again in a minute, and then just tie these tight. Now I'm only doing it on one piece of paper because, like I said, this is like a bit of a trial for me. I thought I would sort of share it with you as I go along to see if it will work or not work. So there we go. Oh, and what I did actually, I forgot, I put a little, another little strip of paper in there just to reinforce this, because it's only one piece of paper. I just cut a little bit and reinforced it, just so it didn't rip it. Makes it a little bit tougher, hopefully. So that's that one, and then we've got one more to do. Can you see this bit that I've added in between is the same sort of colour? But it's just reinforced that in there. Let's just take another piece of this, thread that through. Okay, let's take my pencil out of the way. Right, so what I'm going to do, I've got the 7 holes, so I'm going to go through the middle hole and out the back. And then through the next one. Right. I think I might have a little bit too much thread there. Back down, so just sort of like zigzag your way up, then back down again, like that. So a bit too much. Oops, this way I need to go. Just a bit too much. There we go. Oh, I can't pick up my needle. There we go. Right, so I've just zigzagged my way down, and then I'm going to go back through that hole like that. So we've got 2. Turn it over, and then we go back through this hole like that. Now what we need to do, we need to skip over this hole here, the middle hole. Skip over that and then go down through the hole the other side like that, and then we go zigzag again. So we're back through this one, back down through there, turn it over, back through this one, turn it over, and then back down through there, and then we want to come up through the middle again. So through that middle one like that. Okay, so I'm just going to snip that little bit off. I only leave it on the thread, you don't have to. I only leave it on there so I can I'm not sort of wasting it. So just pull that a little bit tight so we know it's sort of like tight along there, and then we will do it like that. Now you don't have to do 7. I did 7 holes like that because I wasn't quite sure where I'm going to thread my ribbon going through in a minute. Oopsie daisy. So there we go. Perfect. So now I have, that goes on there. I've got these, so they go like that, I think. So we've got one coloured, one inside out, so they go like that. Perfect. Right guys, now this is the bit that might be a bit confusing, probably will be for me as well. I've got 2 lots of ribbon, it's velvet. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to thread the velvet ribbon through these little loops in there. to make the binding. Okay, so that's my little bit. And then I wasn't quite sure what colour, but I quite like the dark, because I quite like that, because this is the only one you're going to see on the outside. And then what we're going to do then, pop it through there, and our front one we will stick that to here to hold that on through there. Well, that's my thinking. That's my thinking. So I think what I might have to do, let's just get a clip and try. I'm going to just clip that there. I really don't know how easy this is going to be. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to, tell you what, I'm just going to snip that. Just so it's nice. And I'm going to just melt that down there. Now, I really don't need all of this, so I only need, I'm going to keep it on there. Now we've got 7, I'm going to go down, I'm going to leave 1, and then I'm going to go down on the second one, and then on the second one there. So I'm going to put my ribbon down through these 2. If this is going to work. Now this is going to be the hard bit, it's just threading these through here. Like that. Let's see, so I'm just pulling that up and sort of like poking it through. Oops. So this is the tricky bit. Pop that through like that. Can you see? So that's what I'm sort of like aiming for. Put this through. It's probably, I would have probably been easier just to test this out on a smaller journal, wouldn't I, than on here. So let's just pop that through. You could probably actually go through, if you wanted to, oops, go through them all and make a really nice one. If you've got the patience. Let me just get this. Pop this. Pull that back. You could probably better, you probably need to sort of prop it up or something. Oh, there we go. I would probably do this, try and do this on my lap actually, but pop that through. Tweezers might be a good idea. Maybe get my, let's have a little look. What have I got? I might actually just get my pliers and just pull that through. There we go. Next one. Push that through. Okay, there might be an easier way of doing this, but let's see. Let's see if this will work. I don't want to stretch this too much because it's going to make it too loose. I've just made that one quite loose, really. Never mind. Again, like I said, this is just a little trial. I think I can open that up. Sure, you're probably shouting at me, telling me to do something else, which will probably make it a little bit easier, but I can't hear you guys. There we go, there's that one. And then down through the last one. Let's get that through that last one. Like that. If you want to do something nice, like this, it takes time, doesn't it? There we go. I think that's going to look really nice, like so. And then gonna just, do you know, I'm thinking it's gonna be quite nice to do it on all of that. What do you think? On all of them. I'm gonna cut it here. That's what I mean, so as long as I don't open it up. Do you think it would make it a bit sturdier if I do it on them all? Okay, I won't let, you know, put you through having to watch me do this all the time. I will come back. But what I'm going to do, now I've done that, I'm going to do that through them all because I think that will look really nice. And then this one, these will stick on here like that, and that's how it's going to attach to the front cover. And then I will put one of these over the top to cover that up, and that will be your thingamajig. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, I will be back when I've threaded these through them all. So 2 seconds for you. Okay, so that got easier as it went down because what I did, I squeezed this together like that and just lifted those up and threaded it through. So it's a lot easier to do that. So I'm loving that. Well, let's just see. So I put a little clip on there so it doesn't pull through. And now what I need to do is take this cover, and I need to, I'm not worried about the length too much, but we just stick these on the front like that. So I just need to stick that on that front one like that. Okay, actually thinking about that, it would have been quite nice to have a sort of coloured thread on there, wouldn't it? But we shall do this again, most definitely, I think. So I'm going to keep that. I'm only worried about this top panel because I can pull them tight or put to the right length on the other side. So this one I just have to sort of attach on there like that. So I'm going to add, I should have turned my glue gun on really. Should I use glue gun or should I use a little bit of, I think I'm just going to use a bit of Fabri-Tac or something on here. Okay, guys. Tacky glue, do you think tacky glue? I think actually I'm going to use a little bit of 3-in-1. And to start, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go it right to the edge. I'm going to just add a bit here, like this, to each piece. I'm not going to go right to the edge because I want it to sort of like move a little bit. Like that. Is that about right? There we go. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take this, make sure we are the right way round, and just pop that on top, like so. Let's just push that down. Turn that over. I need those on here. There we go. Hold that down like that. What do you think? That's not bad, is it? And then these will, when I think the other side's going to be the hardest to do. But they seem to be on there okay. Let's just get this like that. Because I'm going to go around this way. I'm going to add a bit more glue to this. Where's my glue gun? There it is. Let's add this on. I might have to just leave that to dry a little bit before I do the other side, just to make sure these are not going to go anywhere. Let's just pop that on. There we go. This stuff doesn't take that long to dry anyway, 3 in 1. Okay, let's have a little look. Let's just stick this a little bit wonky, but I think we're going to be okay. What do you think? What do you think, guys? That's not bad, is it? I might add, if I need to, add a little bit of glue in there, but I want it to be able to sort of move, don't we? What do you think? Is that going to work? I think so. Do you think I needed to add it right to the edge? I don't think so. I think that's going to be alright, you know. Let's put this side on. Right, I'm going to take these off. I only put those on so they didn't sort of like all shoot back through if I moved it. This is going to be the harder one, isn't it? Because we want these to, you know, be a little bit more equal. So we've got a little bit more room. What do you think? Is that pretty equal? I stuck it down. I'm sure they would. Oh, look at that. It looks quite nice when it opens out. Oh, I do like it. Oh, I do like it. I don't think it matters if they're not equal now, because as long as this is the same as this side, I think we will be okay. I don't want too much room in between each one, but I think 7 is enough to start with our first journal, isn't it, doing this? I'm going to cut these just so that a little bit more level. There we go. Don't need all of those on top. Oh, what do you think? Is that going to work? This one looks a little bit wonky, but I think that's going to work, isn't it? This top one is a little bit looser than the rest. Let's see. I'm just going to glue it and stick it on anyway. This is the right way, isn't it? What do you think? So that's going to be our back panel. Let's make sure it's going to be with the... Okay, I'm just going to stick it on. And then we will figure out mistakes for another one, won't we? Might be a little bit wibbly wobbly, but that's okay. I'm going to just glue down here. Might glue just a little bit in there. Yes, please let me know. I tried to find a video of something like this, but I couldn't find anything. So I am actually sort of like, if you've got a video or you know a video, please let me know, because I'm sure there are probably easier ways of doing this than how I'm doing it. So this has to be... like that, I think. I'm just gonna pull these in like that. Do you think I need a little bit of a weight on there? Well, this is different, isn't it, guys? This is a little bit different. A little different spine. It's quite nice to see people do different things anyway. And then you go, that's a bit complicated. But I think probably been easy without the velvet as well. I could have probably used something a little less fluffy. Actually, that's not too bad, is it? Let's just maybe a little bit fiddly. Okay. There we go. So that's the top. So it opens up like that. I'm loving this detail in there. I'll do a close-up, a picture of that actually at the end. But once it's dry, we can probably shift these papers just a tiny bit. But they all open out really lovely. So that just needs to stick down. Once that's dry, look at that. I think that looks really nice. A little bit different. This one is a little bit higher than this one, so it's a little bit, but I think we will go. Okay guys, I'm going to put the inside cover in. So if I do, what should we do? Will that clip? That clips like that. I'm quite sure how simple this is going to be. This is going to have to go on and stick in there, like so. So then you can't see that bit. Okay, I'm going to just do that. I'm going to ink it first. And then what I will do, I will just leave that to sort of dry a little bit. And then I will do another quick video on showing you how what it looks like when it's dry, and then maybe do a little bit of the inside decorating. I will do a bit of the inside and just sort of finish it off. Oh, let's just ink the other side, this one. So this is going to be on the back cover, because this is really nice, these roses, aren't they? Quite nice on the front as well. A little bit of ink. I'm not going to sew these ones on obviously because it's not going to be that easy. So this one will be the back and this is going to go on to the front like that. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of this just to go in the middle, just so it really sticks down, and I'm going to do the rest with 3-in-1 because I think that's the only way. That glue really stinks. It's going to stay on properly. There we go. Because it's got the little fabric-y bits on there. There you go. Super. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's my little. Make sure that's all stuck down. Glad I used a 3-in-1 actually to glue those down, because I think they're going to stay on. I probably could go onto my sewing machine and actually sew that down. Oh, but then I got stitch marks on there, so. But you probably could to hold those on, but I think that's stuck on there pretty well. I am liking that, guys. I think that's lovely. Right, I shouldn't fiddle too much, should I? Because it's going to come off. If I fiddle, stop fiddling. Let's stop fiddling with it. This is going to then go on here, like that. Let's clip that on there. Take some glue. Oh, let's add a little bit more glue to these bits, just to make sure they're stuck down. Lovely. Right, that's just a good way. This is a different way for me anyway to do a signature. So I mean, if I did more paper in the signatures, I think it would be a bit more, be too thick for me, I think. Well, we shall see. Let's see. Oops. A little bit of glue. Make sure we are up the right way. Pop that in. There we go. Fabulous. Okay, look at that. I do like that. I think that's lovely with little bits of fluff everywhere. I think this one is just a little bit higher than this one, so it doesn't quite sit properly. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad for my first attempt, I don't think. Put that to the side. Squash that down. And then this just opens up really, really lovely. Do you know what I mean? It opens up really well. Like that. Because it's obviously, because it's flexible there. I shouldn't be doing this. I should wait for it to dry, really. But there we go. Oh, love it. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Next video, I will do a little bit. I'm going to cut these out because I want to use these in there. So I will be cutting those out. I've used some of these in there, and I'll go through some of the things that I've done. These are actually pockets in there. Have I got something? Let's have a look. What have I got in here just to show you? You see, I'm just cutting out all of my little bits. So that's a little pocket in there, and that's a little pocket. And what I did with this, I just made a little template and went around with my ink. And I've used some of the things from Journal Say on there. Some of the tape I've added onto here as well. I've used some of Journal Say's stickers on there. This is one of the new cards. The lovely bit. I love the washi tape that they've got, which is beautiful. A little bit on here. So I will go through this, and then we will. Oh, look! I've made a little pocket in there as well. I will probably decorate most of this and then come back and we will do a little bit together, and I will show you what the finished little journal's like. But yes, another way of binding, and I think that's come out really, really lovely. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for joining me. Have a fab rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.